Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips Podcast. In this week's episode, we're not going to be dealing with a skill, we're not going to be dealing with games, we're not even going to be dealing with particular devices like the Show or the Dot, but instead we're going to deal with something kind of new to us since I haven't addressed it before. It's been around for a little while though, and that is an app for your Windows 10 computer. The Alexa app on your Windows 10 computer. That's right, you can have the A-Lady on your computer. So we're going to address that. Its upsides, its downsides, how you set it up, how you install it, some basics connected with that in today's episode. But before we get into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, welcome back to the Echo Tips Podcast. As we mentioned earlier this week, we're going to be dealing with something very different. Not so much a skill or a game or anything like that, or a new feature, or even a piece of equipment per se. We're going to be dealing with the A-Lady app on Windows 10 computers or PCs. But before I get into that any kind of detail, I do want to say to our new listeners, we'd like to welcome you to the podcast. You'll find that the Echo Tips Podcast deals with little chunks, little nuggets about your Echo and skills and new features, and sometimes we delve even into our archives to pull out goodies that you may have been unaware of, and sometimes dust them off a little bit as new features have been added. Something I couldn't do 2 years ago, I can do today. Well, once again, I'd like to say welcome to you, and for our returning listeners and our new listeners alike, you're welcome to reach out to us at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys on Twitter or Facebook about questions or ideas or proposals about, questions about the Echo and about the A-Lady and different things you'd like to see on a podcast episode. And by all means, if you enjoy our podcast, please subscribe in your podcast player of choice. That helps us get a much more accurate idea of our listenership and who's listening to which episodes and which are more popular and things like that. All right, so let's delve right into our material. Now, I'm going to be saying the A-Lady name quite a bit today. So if you do have a Amazon Echo or similar device in hearing distance of me, and you don't want me to be tripping up your Amazon Echo, you might want to shut its ears off. Now, if you're listening on that particular device right now to this podcast, then you're probably going to be okay. It's not going to be an issue. I think that's been solved a few months back. But if you'd like me not to trip up your other Echoes, you might want to go and shut their ears off. You'll probably find a button on the top that has a picture of a silhouetted microphone with a slash through it, and I'll just give you a second to do that. Okay. And I feel your pain because even I had to shut off mine right here on my computer for this demonstration. I'm going to turn it on here in a second. Okay, so this is a feature that's been out for some while, and I didn't really delve into it too much, and I kind of dismissed it at first. I played with it at once, but only recently did I get a request from a person that had disabilities and was trying to read books and materials and had a laptop, and this came to mind because they were asking about voice commands. So what this feature is the Alexa for PC feature. If you want to Google it, you're welcome to look up an article on Amazon's website about it. But in short, it's an Alexa app for your Windows 10 computer. So Windows 10 has your old desktop-style apps, which you think of like your word processor, Microsoft Word, and the like. But when they started pushing the tablet interface during Windows 8, they started to create their own little store called which is now called the Microsoft Store. I don't know if it was always the name of it, but it's called the Microsoft Store now. And it was supposed to bring the simplicity of an app store like we have on our Apple devices and Android devices to the Windows computer. Now, it really hasn't ever took off, but that is where you will find the Alexa app. So if you have your Windows computer, you'll go and click in the bottom left-hand corner on the Start menu, and you're going to type in Store. And then somewhere up on your menu, very likely the first item that's highlighted will be Microsoft Store. So you'll click on that, and you may need to sign in or connect it with a Microsoft account for the initial, if you haven't ever done that before. Very likely you're probably okay, and to be honest, I don't recall right now whether that's required for free apps, because this is a free app. But anyway, if you do need to do that, feel free to jump through those processes. It won't require a credit card or anything like that. And then you can proceed to this next step. And at this point, you have the store open. You probably see a bunch of ads for different games and good golly knows what. But in the top right corner, you're going to look for a little thing. I think it's a magnifying glass, and it might even say search on it. You're going to click there, and a little box is going to slide out where you can type in what you're searching for. And in this case, you're going to be searching for Alexa, A-L-E-X-A. Type that in and hit enter. Now you're going to see a number of tiled icons come up with the different apps and their relative prices below. This one's going to be free. Should be the very first one in the top left corner, and it has a little circle on it. Now, unfortunately, in their listing, I don't think they on this page list the author. I could be wrong, but you click on that, and that little graphic, and then it'll bring up the full listing. And you will see under the app that it says, I think, AMZ something Mobile LLC or something. Anyway, that's Amazon. So from there, you're going to click on the button that I think says either Get or Install and follow the processes. And like I said, if you've never used this store before, maybe when you hit the Get button, it may prompt you to enter some Microsoft password or PIN code or something like that. Anyway, so follow those steps, and at some point it will start downloading and install. At that point, you can go back to your Start menu, type it in Alexa this time, and see the app, assuming it didn't already launch, or you could have clicked the big button that would have changed from Get to downloading to install, and then eventually would have changed to a launch button. So you could have just hit the launch button. And either way, you're going to get the app to pop up. Now, as I said, you could just open it from the Start menu and type in Alexa and then click on the Alexa app. Now, I'm going to follow my exact same suggestions here in just a second to open it up. Once you open it, you're going to be required to log into your Amazon account that's connected with your A-Ladies. If you have other Echoes. And once you do that, you're going to need to do some, terms of service agreements and stuff like that, some basic configurations. Do you want it to use this wake word? Do you want it to be listening? Do you want it to launch when the computer boots? Those kind of things. So technically, you can have it on all the time. From the moment the computer boots, you can even check an option so that it's available on the lock screen, so your computer could be sitting over there running a screensaver, and you could, if you had good microphones on it, yell across the room at it. And they do make Array microphones for computers. And they're relatively simple. You would just look for Array microphones, maybe on some service like Amazon. And I got one for the classroom. It can pick me all the way up across the room. It just clips on the top of the monitor. And it's pretty simple. Now, if you have a laptop, you're going to find that they usually have a built-in microphone. It's usually not very good, but it may be good enough for this functionality. Okay, so I think that's basically it. I think there was a caveat when setting it up. It did say, obviously, if you're on battery like a laptop, if this feature is always running, it's gonna consume an extra little bit of battery life and things like that. Nothing, I think, unexpected there. Okay, so I think that's basically it. Once you're done, you have the ability to just say the wake word to your computer. If it's a laptop, it'll have a microphone built in. And if it's a desktop, you don't have a microphone by default unless you plug one in, or like I said, get an Array microphone, which is really designed to maybe pick you up at a distance. If you have a web camera, like many of us have been doing Zoom for a while and a lot, then often your web camera is going to have kind of an Array-style microphone. It's designed for room pickup. And that might be sufficient as well. So you could always give that a try. Like I said, this is a free app. If you just want to goof around with it, it might be useful to you. And ironically, I'm even recording this output right from my computer onto this recording. So it's pretty cool in that respect as well. All right, so let me open it up. You're going to hear some click-clacking in my keyboard here. And I'm going to do exactly what I told y'all to do, which is open the Alexa app. And I'm going to click on this bad boy. And it should be opening. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. So let's ask her a question. Alexa, tell me a Star Trek joke.
Why did the dilithium crystals need a psychologist? They were warped to the core.
Okay. All right, so you get the idea. So isn't that pretty cool that you can just query your A-Lady now? You think you got your calendar, to-do lists, your music, different things like that. Really, I think the versatility this brings you, because a particular student I had that was making inquiries who had a disability, the ability for them to access, for instance, they were asking about how to access the Bible skill, and I don't think they had an Amazon Echo, but they had a laptop. So this might be a useful tool for them as well, combined with the other tools they're using. So that brings this episode to a close. It's time to turn your microphone back on, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. If you want to find out more about me and what I'm doing with the New Vision program at Goodwill, you're welcome to look me up at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, all lowercase, no spaces. If you're interested in some sort of sponsorship opportunities, you're welcome to email our development team at development@goodwillvalleys.com as well. All right, well, we appreciate your listenership today, and we'll let you start practicing some of those things. And until next time, we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.